I am so glad to be here. I can't even tell you how joyful I am. I'm going to try to rein it in. My name is Tara. I am an alcoholic. Oh, wait. Hold on. Sorry, wrong meeting. Wrong talk. No. That does come into play later, but it is not the talk I'm giving today. I am going to talk with you today about my personal prep for the Appalachian Trail. I would like to do a through hike on the Appalachian Trail. If you're familiar with this area, it goes through this area. It goes from the North Main. Katahdin is the north terminus, all the way down to Georgia and Springer Mountain. 2,190 miles with these. Let me tell you a little bit about how I got here. I have a beautiful, wonderful family. We're living in the pits of no city I will name here in the South, full of violence, lots of anger, just traffic, metropolitan city. It killed me. And one day, my husband said, why don't we go to Pisgah National Forest and we will have Thanksgiving out in the woods. What a great idea, right? I had no idea what we were getting into, okay? If you have any idea how it is here in Pisgah at Thanksgiving, we were coming from the Sunshine State. I had no idea what was about to happen. So we were so cheerful, excited. We get here, freezing. Okay, so we pack up the kids and we go to the resale shop here in town, and we buy every stitch of clothing possible to keep our buns warm. And we had a cold Thanksgiving turkey dinner that year in the woods. But you know what did happen, folks? It lit a fire. It lit a fire in my family. We were driving home, and my husband says to me, babe, we'll turn around. We'll go back. We will. We went, we sold everything that wasn't personal, and we came back, and we made this place our home. It was the first time in my life that I conquered fear. I was in a place that was comfortable, even though it was miserable, and we just put it all into the wind. My children were lucky enough to say elementary, middle, and high school, all in the same spot, Hendersonville. Like, great place to raise your kids. And you know what else? We hiked all the time. My children always were hiking with me. What are you doing this weekend? Well, we're going to go on a ride. Where are you going? I don't know. It's going to take us somewhere, and we are going to go on these. My son and I did a lot of miles together. And what that did was it started this desire to have everything on my back and hike, be self-sufficient, and also be quiet. If you've ever heard anything Henry Thoreau said, or read Bill Bryson's book, A Walk in the Woods, it ignites you. It makes you want to be in this Appalachian Trail. So let me get back. The Appalachian Trail is a footpath, 2,190 miles. It's made to be out in the woods. It's made of volunteers and government agencies, National Park Service, so on and so forth. So basically, this trail is designed for families such as us to get out into the woods. So we start hiking, and I want to hike this trail, and I'm ready. You know, I did the research. I figured out that there are 5 things that you really need to kind of get into check if you want to hike the Appalachian Trail. The first thing is always money, right? You got to have money. You got to have the time. You also got to have the physical endurance to be able to hike this trail. 2,190 miles, give or take, pointless ups and downs. I mean, you go up just as life, and then you're back down in the pits. It's hard. It takes everything you have to get up in the cold, the wet, the snow, the blisters, everything, and want to hike, you know? So the physical part's there. That's all, you can research. There's tons of things you can research, tons of agencies, apps you can get, books you can read. I geeked out like nobody's business. So that's the research. You get all that, right? You get the detours, you get the education. You talk to your rangers, you talk to your ridge runners, you know. These people offer information on the fly, and they want you to be safe. So here I am. I'm getting the keys into line, right? We got the money. We've got the education, and now we're training physically. And at this point, I'm overweight. I mean, as most Americans are, we're overweight. And so I'm trying to hike with my son, who is a young, strapping man, and leaving me in the dust. Me and my dogs are, you know, coming around. And so the physical part we're working on. And your job, you got to have time. You got to have support, right? You can't carry, you know, 6 months worth of food on your back. You got to have people who are going to help you. Or you got to have a plan. So I started to develop this plan, and I got all the systems in place. But every single time I went to make this hike, I couldn't get it to go, and I couldn't figure out why. Everything was in perfect order. Not. Nothing was in perfect order. Basically, I was dealing with a personal crisis that I had no idea that I was dealing with. I didn't like myself. I didn't like where my life had ended, so to speak. I was a teenage pregnancy, dropped out of high school, married young. I did everything I could to be something that I wasn't, okay? Because I always was disappointed in me. I tried to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, the perfect college student, 4.7, weighted, right? SGA president. I tried to excel in everything, and really I did, at a fault, because I was still unhappy with me. I was trying to be somebody I wasn't, and I drank myself to a sickness, okay? You can't hike on the Appalachian Trail being an alcoholic. Where are you going to put that? It's not possible. But I didn't think I was. And so working through this process, I spent 20 years being an alcoholic. 10 getting there. So you do the math. I've been an alcoholic since I was 15 years old. Now, when I finally figured this out, it wasn't because I wanted to, right? I knew what I was doing, but I couldn't be delivered because, as you know, it is an addiction. And so I had health problems. It put me into the hospital, and I prayed. And I said, I don't want to go out like this. I've got way too much life to live. And you know what? I got a second chance. Here I am, alcohol-free. Thank you. And and loving it. I am a bundle of joy. I can't imagine all of this on alcohol. But what that did for me is it let go of my wet brain. It allowed me to see clearly. It let me do a inventory of my backpack. And so let me tell you, through this process, I had this man tell me something. And he said, each and every one of you have a backpack on your back. And I ask you, what are you carrying around on your backpack? Does it serve you? Does it serve you like this is going to serve me when I get on the trail? But it didn't. Let me tell you, it didn't. Let me show you, okay? So as I'm preparing for this trail, and I get where I'm going, and I'm like, you hear that? That shit's heavy, right? All of this is going on my back, and it's got to serve me. Every single thing in here has to be deliberate, okay? So I say, what's in my backpack? What's in my backpack? This man says to me, each and every one of us have a backpack on our back. What do you have in your backpack? It's supposed to be figuratively, but I knew what I was carrying around in my backpack. You know what I was carrying around in my backpack? You would hope something to serve me. No, this was, let's see, being an alcoholic. Let's see, my childhood, right? Adoption, divorce, all those things. Sister dying at 7. Oh, wait, this rock. The abuse, the rape. How many things can you carry in this before you're doing what? Not going anywhere, folks. You're not going anywhere. I certainly was not hiking this hike with this in my backpack, right? All these things, these, me. I was my worst enemy, right? All of these things I couldn't let go, even the small things, folks. All of those things, they add up to weight. They will weigh you down. All of this, all of them add up. Now, what I did was I took a digital or an inventory of my backpack. And I said, all of these things, they don't serve me. Yeah, so I am an alcoholic. So my childhood was messed up, right? But I live today. I don't want to live because of those things, and I certainly don't want those things that I can change holding me down. So now I can take my backpack, this thing that I'm so excited to take onto my trail, and fill it with what is needed, which is all of this stuff. Okay? So every single bit of this is going to fit now in that backpack. Why? Because I made room. I made room. All these things are necessities for me to live on the Appalachian Trail. And it is figuratively, I'm saying, what is in your backpack? What haven't you let go of in order to be able to have joy? We always are comparing ourselves to something else. And be happy being you. 1,000,000 billion things had to happen perfectly to make you. Don't compare yourself to someone else. Live your life passionately. Take on the challenge. Be a fear destroyer. You can do this. What's in your backpack? I'm going to take the hike, and I hope that you can find something that you enjoy and brings you joy like this. My name is Tara Melendez, and one day I'm going to take the Appalachian Trail through hike. Thank you.